What is up, y'all? This is Andy with Poster Grind, your neighborhood art director that designs movie posters for a living. Today, we're going to get down and dirty with some awesome graphics using a halftone grid. Then we're going to curve that grid to make it look even cooler. Then we're going to be using the gradient map color generator to bust out some amazing color variations.
What?
Today, I'm using a template with dimensions of 20 inches wide, 13.5 inches high, and a resolution of 200. The image I'm using happens to be from envato.com, which is an awesome stock photography website with unlimited downloads of licensed photography. If you want this exact same image, I'll put it in the description below. Definitely check them out if you're a creative working professionally, because they have a great subscription plan of about $16 a month and around $200 for the year. Definitely use our affiliate link if you get a chance. Now, back to the image. Once you have something cool to work with, go ahead and mask your image out. Because we'll be working with some cool graphic styles, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to go up to select, and then I'm going to go to select subject, let it do its thing. Once the selection's made, I'm just going to hit the mask button, and now our background has been taken away. I'm going to hit Command T on my keyboard and crop this guy in and his girl in like so. Something like that. Now go ahead and just hide your image by hitting the eyeball. And then let's go ahead and make our halftone lines by hitting New Layer and then going to your rectangle tool. And then with your rectangle tool, actually I'm going to zoom in just a tad by hitting Command plus. And then with your rectangle tool, go ahead and create a rectangle, making sure that it hits the other side of your canvas like so. And then I'm just going to adjust the height up here manually. I'm going to put in 18 and then hit enter. Now we can do the cool step and repeat process by hitting Option Command T on a Mac or Alt Control T on a PC. This tells Photoshop that we're going to start the step process. Once you do that, go ahead and zoom in a little, and then with your arrow pointed on the rectangle, just drag a new one down like so. Then go ahead and hit enter. Don't forget this step or it won't work. And now we can do the repeat process, which is Shift Option Command T on a Mac or Shift Alt Command T on PC. And then just hit T a few times, a few hundred times until you get to the bottom of your canvas. And then I'm going to go a little bit further just in case. Now I'm going to click on a different layer, click back on that layer, hit V, and just drag this up so that we have the canvas fully covered. Now let's go ahead and hide that for now. Go back down to our image and let's just mess around with the treatment on our image. First, I'm going to turn it black and white by hitting Command U, and that's going to create our Hue Saturation layer, and then just drop the saturation to -100. Now we have a black and white image. Then we're going to go to Curves Adjustment Layer, increase the contrast by creating a little S-curve, like that. And then we're going back down to Adjustment Layers again, and we're going to go to Selective Color. And I just want to use this to show you guys how to use selective color, because a lot of people don't know about this. We're going to go to our whites, and then you can mess around with the highlights by decreasing black or increasing black. So I'm just going to decrease the black a little bit. Then I'm going to go to neutrals, do the same thing. Decrease the black a little bit. And then we're going to go to blacks, which is basically our shadows. You can either strengthen them or make them a little bit more revealing. So I'm just going to drop it a little bit and open it up. Let's go ahead and activate our halftone lines. On that same layer, go to blending mode, hard, light. And on this same layer, we're just going to drop the fill a little bit. We can readjust this later if we need to. So I'm just going to keep it at 29% for now. From here, we can go ahead and go back down to our adjustment layers, go to gradient map, and then go ahead and select the gradient map scale, and that's going to bring up the editor. And then in the editor, we're going to go from solid to noise. And this really gives us some funky options. So from here, you can hit this randomize button, and that's just going to give you an infinite amount of random colors to play around with. So we're going to do this until we hit something that we'd like. But I forgot to mention, you can mess around with the roughness as well. So if you increase it, you get something like that. And if you decrease it, you get something way more softer. So we're just going to keep it around 25% and see what happens. I'm just going to go back to randomize until we get something really cool to work with. Increase the roughness if you want. There we go. If you guys could do a quick little solid and hit that like button now, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much. I think I found something that I like. I like this color here, so I'm just going to mess around with the roughness. And I think I'll just leave it at 42%, hit OK. And now we can go ahead and get our lines nice and squiggly. So on our halftone lines, I'm going to hit Command T. I'm just going to bring this up a little. Then I'm going to right click, go to warp. And then on warp, we're going to make sure that our grid is set to 5x5. And that just gives us a little bit more control for this type of a situation. And then you're just going to go in and start basically getting abstract with your halftone lines. Do whatever you want. Squish them, don't squish them. The world is your oyster. I'm just going to increase the crop of our image a little and see if that gets us something cooler. All right, I'm really digging that. Now we're going to do one more layer, the Hue Saturation layer in your adjustment layers. And make sure that's on your top layer. And I just want to show you guys how to further adjust colors or get different combinations. You can play with the slider like so in case you really want to look for different color combos. Or the saturation if you want it to be a little brighter or less bright. So this just gives you a little bit more control and a little bit more options. And to go the extra mile, we're going to go back down to our bottom layer. We're going to hit new layer, and we're just going to put some type behind them to get a little on the graphic designy side. So I'm going to hit T on my keyboard. I'm just going to type out something. I'm going to hit Command T, increase the size, and then make something like that. Then I'm going to hit Command G with all of those, with every layer of type selected. And then we can play with the opacity. Just drop that. And then the icing on the cake for this tutorial is to add a little bit of noise. So I'm going to go to Option, hold down Option, Alt on PC, hit the plus sign, call this noise, go Mode, Overlay, and then we're going to go Fill with Overlay Neutral Color, hit OK, go up to Filter, Noise, add noise, and then you can kind of see if there's something that's going to look good for you. So I'm going to use 28% on Gaussian. And then you can uncheck monochromatic if you want your noise to have some color. So let's try that out. I'm unchecking monochromatic. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to zoom in, check it out. And I really like what we've created. If you guys did too, go ahead and hit that like button, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.